Hey, guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, R.S. Lewis, aka Insomniac Writer, and today I have a new trailer reaction for you. I am looking at 2023's Toxic Avenger. We got a reboot, basically. And I'm like, it got some good names attached to this cast, so I'm not going to trip until I watch it. I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. But I will say this. The Toxic Avenger, compared to today's climate, is a very problematic movie in the things that they did. And so don't get me wrong, it's a superhero movie, and it's almost a horror movie. But we'll see what they're going to do with it. I'm going to shut up. We're going to get to it. Get your water, your snacks, or whatever. Let's get to it.
There are still no leads as to the identity of
The freaky folk hero remains at large. Sir, what did you see last night?
I heard gunshots, saw blood. Handsome fella had his arm tore off like wet bread, and the creature run off into the night.
He looks like a fucked up hot dog.
That part was very shocking to me. Motherfucker.
Can we put that up? Anyone that may have encountered the stranger. Breaking news, a group of armed extremists, the nasty lads, they've taken hostages at a mismeat lunchatorium downtown.
Let's go live.
We are the nasty lads! We are angry! Who the fuck are you?
What the hell is that? He's a hero.
The Toxic Avenger.
That's what the kids are calling him. I think it's swell.
Okay, so that was the red band teaser for the Toxic Avenger. I'm getting my thoughts together on this. Yeah. So Peter Dinklage, we know him from Game of Thrones. He was in X-Men. I think it was Days of Future. Was it Days of Future Past? Yeah. He's been in so many things. Peter Dinklage is like infamous. And he's from, my coast. He's from Jersey. Very well known. Kevin Bacon is in this. Also a local known guy from not too far from here. It also has Elijah Wood, Jacob Tremblay, Taylour Paige, Sarah Niles, Julia Davis, Julian Kostov, Macon Blair. They've been talking about redoing this film and rebooting it years ago. It looks like, from what I've read online about the plot, they are going to change some things. So in the original Toxic Avengers, the main character, Toxie, before he fell into a bed of toxic waste, he was this scrawny janitor, kind of goofy, big teeth, like very cliche 80s nerd. They decided, like these bullies that worked at the gym were terrible. Like I don't know what they were. Like they weren't skinheads, but they had this game where they like to run over minorities. Yeah. If you've never seen it and you are I don't want to use the word liberal, but if you lean that way, you might be offended, because they say and do some things that are very offending. It had nudity. It had gore. Like, the gore was very 80s, low budget. Not going to lie. The gore in this teaser looked way better than any Toxic Avenger movie could do. However, the plot was very, very crazy. But they did have a scene where they ran over this kid on the bike, and it was very graphic, and it was like, wow. And then they took pictures, and the movie is fucked up on all levels. Like, don't get me wrong. I ended up enjoying it. I mean, you know what's crazy about how fucked up this movie is? They made a cartoon on Saturday mornings for it. I lied to you not. The Toxic Avenger movie about bullies, and they play a trick on poor, I forget what was his name, but they play a trick on him. He falls out the window, falls into a bed of toxic waste, because the guys, matter of fact, the crazy part about it, what I remember, the dudes that had the toxic waste on the truck, they had it on a flatbed, and he fell. Now, it ain't covered. this is not how they really would, transport any like waste. It would be in a tanker, obviously, but they had it on a flatbed, just open big ass containers of toxic waste, and he falls in it. And the next thing you know, like, they in the truck doing drugs. That's why they stopped. They like, oh yeah, we're just gonna stop, because the town wasn't that great at the beginning. It was like, oh, we're just gonna stop in this little shitty podunk town, and the next thing you know, we're gonna do these drugs, and then we're gonna be about our business. And then the Toxic Avenger, the kid goes home and he transforms into Toxie, and the next thing you know, his mom sees him, scares her half to death. He runs, he finds a place in the middle of nowhere where there's all this toxic waste, because apparently this town is where they dump all the toxic waste. So he goes on the edge of town, he stays in his little shack. He ends up getting a girlfriend. She blind now, and this is, I guess, spoiler territory if you've never seen this movie. But it ended up spawning some sequels, and the guy that played the Toxic Avenger before and after the transformation, two different actors, by the way, two different extremes. One is he about this big, and the other one looked like Arnold in his prom. So when they were redoing this movie, I think when they were talking about redoing this movie about like 10 years ago, they were like, they wanted somebody like Arnold to play the titular role, but he was working on one of the I think Terminator Genesis, one of the later Terminator movies at that time, and then somehow Peter Dinklage got attached to this, and I was like, who is he going to play? I'm thinking in my head maybe he's going to play Toxie before he gets, but I guess he's playing both. Now, I'm not saying that Peter Dinklage isn't strong, or like, it's a bold move, but I think it can be pulled off. I'm not gonna go by like shit like Rotten Tomatoes, because sometimes I agree with them and sometimes I'm like, did y'all even watch the movie, or y'all just came to complain? So but that being said, this is like a reimagining, I guess. It's going to take place in the same timeline possibly of the original, which was like early 80s, if I'm not mistaken. I know I watched it on VHS. I'm going to get more information about that. But I watched the first one on VHS. I saw the second one on like network TV. I'm waiting for this to be like, obviously it's going to be gory. The first one was kind of gory, but like I said, it was very limited by the effects at the time. When they ran over the kid, that's one scene that always sat with me. And I always like, to this day, I don't ride bikes like I used to, but when I did, I'm riding on the sidewalk. Y'all just going to have to be mad. I know the sidewalk is for walking pedestrians, but y'all gonna be mad. That movie made me afraid to ever ride my bike. The little man put on his helmet and was like, Mama kissed him goodbye, and that was it. Like, no. Anyway, again, this was a teaser. So far, it looks good. And I can't really judge by it. I'm going to wait until the trailer drops sometime whenever. The film is already premiered. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. And I like the marketing campaign. Like, one thing they did change, even though he's still a janitor, I think they're going to kind of change it and make it a little bit more, have some different type of social commentary. One thing I can say about the original, it's just basic. Bullies do some bad shit. Crime, everyone is corrupt. This whole town was corrupt, from the mayor to the cops, everybody corrupt. And for him to be the savior of this town is just hilarious to begin with. Secondly, I like it. It didn't overthink its plot or anything. It just gave you tooth and nails what it was. Anyway, what did you guys think about the teaser for or the first peek at the Toxic Avenger 2023 reimagining, remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you going to go see it? Let me know down in the comments, because of where else are you going to leave them. And before you go, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that little bell to be notified so that you could be notified of other videos and stuff. And again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I stand. I'm not saying I don't like it. Like the trailer, the teaser looks great. But again, I don't know how they're going to change, because I know the social commentary in the 80s is way different than it is now. Way, way different. I mean, bullying is bullying, period. Regardless of such, I'm going to go watch it probably. Again, I'm waiting for the trailer to give you more of my opinion. I just wanted to see this teaser because it dropped in. That's that. Anyway, again, I'm your girl, R.S. Lewis, a.k.a. the Insomniac Writer, and this has been another trailer reaction. Be awesome, be you, but above all else, love yourself, and I'll catch y'all on the flip flat.